Nothing really goes their way because let me tell you, the grand champions going further back to Atlantic Showdown, Fusion University that defeated NA, EU, and SA, well, not so good for them right now in Contenders Korea, to put it mildly.
So GRUNTo, Skyfoxes rolling out of here on our first map. It's going to be Nepal. Control for the series is Clone Man. Going to be fighting here on this pillar side near the Mega Pack. Both teams trying to get the control.
Clone Man in a bit of danger here. Immediately beamed on down. And off that early pickoff from Spectral, GRUNTo gets to take control of the battle here, push the Skyfoxes back. Don't have to worry about the Winston pressure. And they just stagger Skyfoxes one by one. Should be GRUNTo getting first control of the point.
GRUNTo finishing up those frags. And Clone Man, he's there. He's on that pillar side early trying to get control. But you see him from the rollout for GRUNTo. Upting, Zolik already there as well. Getting that early damage, getting that displacement, and then just bashed and finished off. So just the focus, the Winston strategy, very effective if they burn those cooldowns very early, which is exactly what they did. Now GRUNTo's going to hold this choke, look for an early engage.
Doing just that, they move on forward, and Zolik able to get Zen early on here. Karkar already super low. GRUNTo poked, but poked evenly across the entire team, easily healed on up, and Clone Man not leaping off the edge, leaping all the way around. Still problematic here for Skyfoxes, already about 30% towards GRUNTo.
World economy still pretty favoring GRUNTo. They hold the strong position on Saint 7. You see how aggressive they're being here. Actually, they get grabbed by Spectral.
Grabs on used early. Man advantage of the Skyfoxes as they attempt to break on through. GRUNTo, they need to retreat a little bit here. Give time for the respawn to come back out. They don't want to get staggered in uneven numbers fight. And Umte can be an X factor here. They're down 2, but Primal equals all things out. Clone Man, Neil on the other side. Primaling first, taking down Brigida. Back the other way. Umte still holding on to his Primal. Never saw a time to use it.
That was a very good engage for Skyfoxes there. Lucio, he sees the opportunity to get the solo grab on a Spectral, move that Zarya early, while GRUNTo are moving forward so aggressively. So capitalizes on the aggression. GRUNTo, they get splintered there. The beat comes out a little too late for Zolik, who was hoping to save those players on point. And even if he had managed to save Rob, Wub still would have been moved off by the Primal. So definitely a little bit of a poor disengage for GRUNTo, who have to now enter this point.
Oh man, almost getting knocked into the pit. And the back up a bit. Skyfoxes getting up to the ground. Umte, Igor, Primal Rage, 5 seconds left. Diving in, looking for anyone, and gets 2 directly off. And wait, Lucio's still alive, but it's going to take a while to get back in.
He may not be dead just yet, but it doesn't matter because he's essentially out of the fight right now. He does not have the peel. He is going to make it back. The Lashro going to get cleaned up. Great engage for Umte there. Off the bomb. They force that Transcendence early. They throw the bomb in to get the split, and then Umte just capitalizes there with those, using that Primal to play with the environment. Strong engage for GRUNTo. Now Spectral will have the grab, knowing that there's no Transcendence for Lashro. We're going to look for the split potentially here on the doors.
Nope. GRUNTo moving forward. Going to be first grab from Skyfoxes once more. Bustio staying the stage here, looking for Umte instead. GRUNTo going to use Transcendence, keeping themselves alive mid-fight. Skyfoxes burning barrier in response. And Attitude in the middle of this, able to get robbed. The Transcendence fades. Skyfoxes 1 up right now. Clone Man deep into the other side, but also under heavy focus fire as well. Going to be leaping out. GRUNTo still in control of the point as this is going on. So Skyfoxes, they've gotten a slight edge here. They need to bring this over the point. Karkar with 2, and that's something they needed here as they're able to move over. They're going to get the reflip, but they still have a long way to go.
So far, the disruption value for the Primal has been working wonders for both squads there. As Clone Man, he drops that Primal. One GRUNTo to look for the engage and just gets to displacement. Rob sent flying into the team and finished off by Attitude. So now Skyfoxes, they've managed to flip the point, but they have to be perfect as a pause is going to come out. Bye-bye, Rob, with the DC. We will see you later, Rob Dab. He'll be back soon.
What is going on with the internet as of late? Just in general, where in our last cast day, we had a player disconnect, and it ends up leading to a 5v6 scenario at the end of the game. Just earlier today, another player disconnects, 5v6. Earlier today, there was a chance that we would have had to get on early and cast from, well, for me, I'd still be casting here, but you have been casting from home because our co-casters, Ham and Boop, the internet was out where they cast from. Something, just, the internet's getting struck
and
all
Square
around.
One also potentially losing their playoff chances.
Yeah.
With DC, losing a player there, so which is unfortunate for them. I mean, realistically, just a lot of internet problems have been, the tubes have been having some issues.
You know, you should watch out for those 9-hour power outages. Might be coming for you at any point.
You have to look out for those because you never know when you're not going to be able to finish your lab report or finish your match. Either one could be very bad there, but we are just going to be waiting for Rob to reconnect for GRUNTo. And right now, it's still a tenuous position, I would say, for Skyfoxes, considering that they have to have a perfect defense here from an out because of the time bank, the control bank that's already given to GRUNTo and is back in. going to be starting back.
The internet has been fixed. Rob back in, of course, ult progress going to be reset. Not quite sure what he was at before the DC. Do you remember?
I think it was around like 30.
So, not the biggest loss, but still not insignificant either. GRUNTo going to be working their way back in. Skyfoxes not give up the point one more time. And GRUNTo getting a lot of space here off the entry. Cloman already almost falling. Evac coming in super early, and GRUNTo not something here. They're going to use the barrier, going a little bit deeper. Ready with the primal, looking for anyone into the pit, not aggressively chasing it. Meanwhile, Boostio drops the grab, and did it hit anything?
It did not catch anything. It caught the pillar. That's really not something you need to finish off. And now Cloman finished off with Attitude trading this rally. This is still a very good position to be in for GRUNTo. They're going to have that grab in.
Use grabs on land fight, looking for Attitude, going to grab him. GRUNTo up 2. Desperation beat in from the Skyfoxes. They look to delay. Karkar looking to send anyone into the pit right now. The bomb out. Poon's going to get one, but it's nowhere near enough. Zolik striking on the other side. And GRUNTo just with far more presence here on the point. Round 1 is theirs.
The reality is for Skyfoxes there is that when you have so much bank against you, you have to have a perfect defense. And Skyfoxes just did not have the ult economy. They did not have the ult economy they needed versus GRUNTo. They had a great early aggression there where they entered that both the tanks were hiding close to the choke. Poked them out, forced them to rotate, and they even got the DMAC onto Hoon quite early. So good focus fire for GRUNTo coming in onto Sanctum, which can sometimes be a tough point to re-enter on Nepal. The first round going their way.
As we look towards the next round, there's going to be a pretty big disparity between the two teams and what they're running. Skyfoxes going to be running with what has been a very... Oh, hang on. We don't really know until the gates open. It was looking like Widow Pharah instead, going to be Tracer Pharah. Still pretty meta. Meanwhile, GRUNTo going with the old favorite, Mei on Village.
So a Spectral on this Mei and Salty on the Zarya is definitely indicating that GRUNTo are going to look to go to the point directly. Skyfox is on this triple DPS, hoping they can maybe get an early pick as the rotation comes out. And then once GRUNTo are set up on the point, it's all about poke, maybe finding an isolation pick.
So GRUNTo, they've already gone over to the point. Attitude, though, decent position here. The rain and rockets directly into the middle. And you look at the health here. GRUNTo, Salty gonna fall immediately. Bionade preventing the heal. Lucio just coming in from back. And even though GRUNTo's gonna get first control, Skyfoxes, one man up, rotating around, but Spectral evens the score, finds one, and this is still really hard for a Tracer to get in and effectively harass.
Right now, Skyfoxes are just going to continue to poke, continue to hope to find some of his last row, finds a 5-man anti. They need to commit, and that's exactly what they do.
Attitude moves in with the finish. 4 for Attitude. Off the barrage cleanup, and Skyfoxes, they break the Mei hold here on Village. And if, yeah, okay, I was gonna say, if I'm Spectral, I swap in. That's exactly what's coming out here. You don't really want to be running the Mei on the recontest.
Skyfoxes is doing a great job there. Even if they couldn't stop the point, it's very, very hard to stop the first point flip versus that comp unless you get an early pick. But just setting up Lastro to continually find nades when there's no D.Va on the field and getting that win condition they needed. Now GRUNTo going to have to re-enter. Salty hack very early. You see that pressure coming out onto him.
Boostio, pulse bomb up. Sing here on the top, gonna drop on down, looking for a target. Lays the pulse bomb in the middle. Meanwhile, Attitude on the other side finds Rob. So Skyfox is up one already, still in control of the point. Clone Man making so much space in the Hammond on the other side.
Use those mines extremely effectively. So GRUNTo, they are going to lose that contest, but realistically, they did not have a lot of ults in their bank. They used that nano, but could not find a lot of value from it. Skyfox is on this triple DPS setup right now. We'll have EMP, we'll have Barrage again very soon. Going to be a very good combo versus GRUNTo. And GRUNTo, they're just waiting for ults. See Rob going onto the Moira now. And with Rob on the Moira, it's going to be a lot harder to set up that dive. He's going to be a little bit more survivable on the entry.
The problem that GRUNTo is going to be running up against here is that they don't have many fights left. 2 at most, and they're going to be running directly into the EMP. In the tank front line. Beat going to be out, and Umte just gets deleted. The barrage directly in the middle of it. Attitude, though, gives up his life for it, and the Farm Mercy combo is down. The Mercy was going for the res. Salty immediately got in on it. Now it's up to Boostio to try and be the hero, bring this back. Pulse Bomb, it's a good one. Ends up getting 2. Moving around, giving the Brigida a bit of respect here. But Boostio's pressure still important as Lastro finds Pilot D.Va, and Skyfox is not giving this one up yet, even though GRUNTo already got the flip.
Update is back. I mean, he's going to have to get back towards the point. Karkar with the res on the Lastro. This is still winnable for Skyfoxes with these picks coming up. Though that Coalescence is out for Rob, can they find the picks they need?
Attitude Nano moving on in, looking for anything. Takes down the Moira, point blank. Low man, looking for the extra finish. Skyfox is well on their way to the turn. This Boostio's back in the fight. Mercy might be down. but still an edge to the Skyfoxes here as they just look to remove the last few moments of GRUNTo. Salty though, taking out 2, has something else to say for it, still stalling, letting GRUNTo get more progress.
Boostio, he's back. Lastro there to help him contest with Hoon. But the reality is that now, GRUNTo, they've made it to point. They have a lot of those tanky heroes. With Boostio going down, there's not going to be enough sustain, not enough finish for Skyfoxes. But look at all that time they burned off the clock. Still a good bank for them, though GRUNTo had that flip.
Also just excellent play from Salty to get back in there and delay enough for Umte to get back over. Skyfoxes unable to get the reflip, and this is final fight territory. If Skyfoxes don't win this fight, the map is over.
They have EMP though. EMP, they have nade, they have the combination they need. They know that GRUNTo does not have any ults just yet. As an EMP's gonna come out, catch 3.
Flowman easily finishing up what Hoon sets up. And that's gonna be 3 for Skyfoxes to get over to the point. They'll get the flip. And this is really going to come down to one final fight. And one good thing for the Skyfoxes, Hoon at 33%, they can delay for a bit. There's a world where they get an EMP for that fight.
GRUNTo not committing any ults in that fight either, which I think was a really smart move for them. They knew they had another recontest. If they just removed the EMP, they can come back in. Now we'll have an EMP of their own. We'll have a rally. Can move in here. And for Skyfoxes, look at their positioning. They're going to want to use this nano, use the nades for Lastro very aggressively onto GRUNTo as they enter the point because they know they have to touch. Going to try to drop them on main. But Spectral, he should just be looking to counter this engage.
Spectral, waiting, EMP out. Attitude Boostio, all hack, Clowman, Karkar, much the same, and yet the Skyfoxes able to disengage. They're still in it. Clowman, the Shatter's up, the hammer is ready, drops the hammer, puts Umte on the ground. Umte bionated, he's about to fall. Umte still somehow in it, but no, finally falls down. The Skyfoxes hanging on, but both teams now down a Rhine. 5-on-5, but the poke war, so much better for the Skyfoxes. Boostio charged up, ready to go, diving in. And the Skyfoxes retake the point. And this is looking like we're going to be heading to a round 3.
Smart engage for Skyfoxes there. They knew their wing addition was in where they could deny the value for the EMP for Spectral and also try to catch them early on the rotation to get max value from the Nano, and that's exactly what they did with that position on the high ground. Just putting onto Clone Man, allowing him to swing and deny, sort of playing split. Even though Spectral was able to get several moves with the EMP, a lot of them are on high ground. And so GRUNTo could not clean that up at all. So it is tied up 1-1 now. GRUNTo Skyfoxes here in our final round of Nepal.
Heading into the Shrine, and this is certainly one of the stages that is incredibly favorable to Afara. The team wants to run it, and yet you look at Skyfoxes and what they're looking to run out on here. They might be deciding against Afara instead, focusing a little bit more on the ground. Attitude going over to the Tracers, so incredibly hit scan heavy for the Skyfoxes.
GRUNTo anticipating that Skyfoxes are going to be on this triple DPS setup. They've shown a lot of propensity for it. Skyfox is just going to see that and go back to spawn and swap. I think they should just go, potentially they could just go 3-3 here with the Zen. Would be a good swap, or even just they could keep Lastro on the auto because their EMP, their Nano Sombra synergy has always been very good for Skyfoxes. Sort of the progenitors, a lot of that composition.
It's going to be a 3-2-1 with the Zen, the Skyfoxes. Early hack on the Attitude. Spectral, immediately going to get out of there. 22% hold charge. GRUNTo going back over to the point, looking for Clowman. Clowman able to shake it off. And the Skyfox is just bullying GRUNTo. Off the point, they get the first flip as GRUNTo is still very much there.
GRUNTo were playing some hero chess there. They also made that swap there when Skyfox make a swap their own, so they weren't there to have that early positioning. Umte going so low, but they need to find value early because the longer this fight runs, Lastro, he's building up to that Nano, so is Rob though.
Boostio dove a little bit to try and get Umte. Clowman drops a shatter. Not quite much going to be coming out of that one. And GRUNTo getting the better of the poke war. Attitude slammed against the wall. And yet Hoon making a lot of progress in the back. Builds EMP mid-fight. I don't think this is a fight they use it, but it's not a bad consolation prize for Skyfoxes as they look to reset.
GRUNTo getting this reflip now will have the pretty much the most important ult in terms of denying the value for Transcendence for Lastro. EMP nade. EMP nade or EMP shatter both are great positions to set up and get the answers they need, but Hoon, he's looking for the engage.
Hoon gets EMP first, strikes 4. Umte has shatter but can't drop it. 2 down immediately. But 4 and 4, Skyfox is not as flawless as they would like. They use Transcendence and still suffer casualties. Hoon having the back on out, which means Skyfox is 3 on point. GRUNTo, they can easily recover here. And Skyfoxes, they don't want to deal with that anymore. Now they're in a really big hole, ult economy-wise.
That was a fight that Skyfox is losing is going to put them in a very tough position, considering they use the Transcendence, they use their EMP, See very early MP for Spectral. There's the Shatter to finish it off. And already GRUNTo winning that fight immediately with those 2 ults. And they're still holding on to this grab. The grab going to come out next fight. And with no D.Va to eat it, no D.Va to deny that value, it's going to be pretty easy to clean up considering there's no defensive ults for Skyfoxes.
Really, the fate of GRUNTo in the hands of Salty right now, and this is going to be a very, very tough fight for the Skyfoxes, where best case scenario, if it is a losing fight, they move in quickly and still get one more, but at the rate they're going, we could be entering final fight territory.
They're currently set up behind, going to be looking for some poke, maybe a hack. Skyfoxes, they're going to have to just die fast if they're going to lose this fight. You see that grab used on the Clone, getting pocketed, getting picked off.
Clone getting abducted, but comes at cost. Both Brian's out of the fight early. Barry going to be used by GRUNTo. Skyfoxes still engaging. Lucio used grab in the middle of it. Not a whole lot gotten. 4-on-4 now, both teams. Still even. Clone builds up the Shatter mid-fight. And Skyfoxes starting to get the better of this here. And Boostio cleans up the rest. So Skyfoxes are going to get the flip. GRUNTo, though, a lot of time to bring this back.
They'll look just denying here a little bit more. Gonna be some stagger kills coming out for Skyfoxes. They will have EMP, they will have Shatter, a huge combination for the following fight. GRUNTo, though, they know they have plenty of time. They have time to take these eco pushes. So in this upcoming fight, they need to remove the ult for Skyfoxes, continue to build up to their fight winners. They're getting close to the EMP Shatter of their own. Their goal here, just get EMP out of Boom.
I think they roll in, you get EMP shattered, it happens, and then you come back next fight, you have an advantage. GRUNTo moving forward, EMP, not quite out yet. And who gets taken down before any EMP can happen? Now this is much more winnable for GRUNTo. Spectral knows it, drops EMP as a result. But it might be a little bit rushed. Skyfoxes able to back out to a degree. Boostio gonna counter grab, GRUNTo all stuck in it. Well, man, moving forward, Shatter ready. And if UK falls, the Shadow's gonna be coming right after. And instead, Clone falls. Clone was looking for it. And now GRUNTo fighting their way back in. Huno back into the fight, drops EMP, hits 3. Get Ryan off of it, but Skyfoxes are just too low here as GRUNTo fight their way back into the point.
And with that grab, I mean, that's it. The map is over. GRUNTo playing that extremely well there. You see that it was all just based off that early Sombra duel. An early Sombra duel taking place between Hoon and Spectral. Spectral calls for, hey, come forward, we need to get this finish. And Salty's there, gets that cleanup. And removing the EMP so early means they could commit to the fight in a fight that, realistically, Skyfoxes thought they had in the bag. They thought it was done. They thought they could just use those ults, finish it right there. They were really relying on that. And it was an early pressure there from Spectral, followed up by Salty, which means they had the opening they needed. They could just play the ult game.
Well, that's why that pickoff was so incredibly important, where you look at it and you go, okay, EMP Shatter, go next. And that's usually how that fight would play out, but Boone gets picked off early. And Spectral goes, wait, they're down Sombra now. This is our opportunity. We weren't going to use this EMP now, but guess what? It's a perfect time to use it. They drop the EMP, and Skyfox is just unable to recover from there. So GRUNTo taking map 1, but I have to say, not only was it close, but this matchup, which could decide the fate of second place in the group, it's living up to the billing so far.
I think both these squads have been very, very dominant. GRUNTo has been dominant so far this season, only losing to Atlanta. And for Skyfoxes, I think they just haven't closed out close series, but it's very clear they can be a contender for the number 2 spot. I think it's pretty much confirmed that likely no one is going to be removing Atlanta's number 1. No one in the other group is going to be removing Envy's number 1. But the number 2 is still very much up for grabs.
Well, I think for Atlanta, I'm pretty sure they've clinched number 1 at this point. 6 wins so far, only 1 match left to go in the regular season. And
well, I mean more of just for the fact that regardless of the record, just the eye test. No one's taking away the number 1. No one's taking away Envy's number 1. But the number 2 is very much up for grabs. I think Skyfoxes can be a contender if they just get cleaner.
Can an Overwatch League team count as taking Envy's number 1? Where, lucky for Envy, I think the number 1 promising thing for Envy going forward is that the signing window is closed. They can't lose their tank line again. It's impossible.
Saved from sending any more players to the Overwatch League, which reality is, that is the goal of Contenders, is that you want to be sending as many players as possible to the Overwatch League and being in a system where people say, hey, they have a lot of good players from this team. Envy, tank line, second wind. Really, I guess they're not so much, it's not so much Overwatch League for them as it is replenishing every other Academy team's roster so within Contenders, but still a good place to be if you're looking to move up.
Very much so. But back on the task at hand, GRUNTo edging this one out over the Skyfoxes. And next map we're going to be heading to, of course, is our Assault mode, where really normally you can look at two teams and be like, this one team's looking more organized, or we can come up with some factors saying this team's going to have an edge or another. This one is so close, and the pedigree of both these teams pretty even to the degree that I still think it's a toss-up as we move into our Assault map.
A lot of the matchup here is going to come down to the stylistic choices. Skyfoxes are very clearly wanting to use a little bit more of DPS-centric compositions for them. It's what they feel a little bit more comfortable on throughout the season. While GRUNTo have had a much cleaner grasp, even back when they were still known as Chicken Contenders, they had a much cleaner grasp of that 3-3 meta. It's transitioned well into how they play more of a Sombra Goat style now with Spectral. So definitely a question of how do they play those counters? How do they play the matchups?
So we'll find out in just a moment what compositions are going to be played here to start things out, where Paris has probably been one of the most iterated on maps in terms of meta, where it's gone through multiple different stages where I feel like there was a week or two where it was nothing but bunker, then a week or two where suddenly teams are playing more dive, and everything in between, right? Where I don't think, even within the same team, that you get a whole lot of consistency here in Paris. It's a map that you would think would be figured out by now, but is probably been hit hardest by the shifting meta.
So now for GRUNTo, going to be on defense first. Looking to set up, you see how they're currently set up with on this Winston and Rob on the net, on the Ana. So a lot of flexibility here for them. Looking to deny the choke. And Skyfoxes, going to go back and just scout and swap.
Also, there's a site for Sore Eyes. Who are you getting subbed in? Of course, who are you? Long time known for his play in the Overwatch scene, whether it be in Apex, back in Korea, Fusion University, and of course now here in the Skyfoxes, on loan, by the way.
On loan. Who are you is in. Skyfox is making the swap to the triple DPS. Going to be pocketing the Warrior Farah as they move in. GRUNTo giving up a little bit of the ground, but they're going to look for this recontest. They want to play slow and build towards that nano.
Who are you in the sky? Skyfoxes are now just looking for poke, and already strikes Zarya out of the fight immediately. Man advantage here to the Skyfoxes, and slow progress, but consistent progress. Karkar, under a bit of pressure, able to get away, healed on up. Same for Who Are You, and Who Are You getting well supported here. And it's just a slow dissection of GRUNTo at the moment. The Skyfoxes move ever closer to the point, but they're going to lose Boostio. Utei is able to get to the back. GRUNTo might have a respawn in soon, so it's possible they've delayed just enough here. Who Are You, though? Chasing Zolik, close quarters, gonna find him. And the Skyfox is still looking for a way in. EMP, though, gonna be moving on over as Utei, nano boost, diving on in, but it's a long chase, hasn't got anything here just yet. Looking for the primal, finishing off 2, and that's gonna be enough for GRUNTo, but they need to get back over to the point as Cloman sneakily does not quite get the tick.
Doesn't get the second tick, but a very clinical defense there for GRUNTo. Despite Skyfoxes playing it slow, looking for the picks, they couldn't find a lot of value early. And GRUNTo made sure to just back up, play the LOS, and play for the nano, while keeping some constant pressure there onto Who Are You. Now Skyfox is having to re-enter here again, gonna put Boostio onto the Tracer. Rather than this Widow, gonna look for a very aggressive dive with Food on the EMP, since he has that EMP right now.
Nano on the Who Are You, but Who Are You is in a pretty tough position as more of a life-saving nano. That's a win for GRUNTo as the bomb just blows up Cloman off on the other side. And this is a bit disjointed, not the good way. Not that there is a good way for that.
Karkar popping that Valkyrie. I think he was hoping to be able to find the res, but GRUNTo, they're just playing so aggressively, denying the space for that res. Gonna have to wait for Cloman anyways, who's coming now back on the Winston. If you this composition for Skyfox, they don't have a Valk to react aggressively to the EMP, but that's still their goal here, is to try to get the EMP off early, but it's gonna be very tough to find the value.
EMP striking 3, Wub, Umte, Zolik all hacked, and Hoon, he'll get the finish on the Umte. But it's a trade. Both teams down to Winston. Spectral doing so much more with his EMP on the other side. Cloman get it res back up. And this is Who Are You? Drops a barrage, lanes to the fight, ends up with 2. The Skyfoxes. This has been back and forth, and Who Are You just brings this fight roaring back.
Who Are You saving it there for GRUNTo? What looked like a great counter engage with the EMP, with the nano. The reality is that Who Are You? He doesn't want to lose. Sort of a projectile master, and you see it right there. A great opportunity there to drop the barrage, get the value. Now Skyfoxes with that have taken first. They're probably going to make some swaps for second, though.
Legend has it that Who Are You was the only player that could be incredibly enraged after winning a championship. Atlantic Showdown last year, the show match with British Hurricane. Even though it was a show match, Who Are You was not happy when that did not go the way of Fusion Uni.
Now Skyfoxes making a swap here on the Sombra Goat, keeping him here on the Sombra. So all the resources given to him allowed him to poke. And GRUNTo, they've just swapped a full 3-3. They've decided to drop the Sombra now, put Spectral onto the Zarya. They want to play this matchup where they roll the front line. They roll the front line, they own the neutral fight, and try to get the support ults very quickly.
GRUNTo reset up, taking the fight the Skyfoxes. Skyfoxes backing up a bit, not wanting any part of the early engage. Boone at 76% right now, and if you're Skyfoxes, I think you 100% wait for EMP here.
Getting pressured out there again. Skyfoxes are definitely heeding your advice. They're waiting for EMP. I mean, they don't have any other ults that can actually just finish the fight immediately. The EMP nade is going to be their best bet in terms of hoping to find the ante once those barriers are down, once there's no support.
So Hoon has the EMP up, and that means Skyfoxes go in, and already they get Spectral. The EMP is just going to be a finisher, and Cloman more than willing to oblige. EMP, Nano Rhine, Cloman having a fiesta over here. The Skyfoxes easily move into the point. As long as this bomb doesn't blow up the entire team, the point should be theirs.
Incredibly good engagement there for Skyfoxes. They decide to move forward as soon as possible. Look for the anti, look for the nano very aggressively there. Finish off Spectral. And now, GRUNTo, they have to re-enter the point. They use the beat, and it works! It's so good! The engage is in this placement. Update finds the shatter. What an incredible recontest for GRUNTo.
Chalk that up again to things that should not be happening. Emergency Doomfist shatter. Just ruining the Skyfoxes in what is usually a one fight, and to add insult to injury, they don't even get 33%.
Not even a tick. Not even a tick. Though it's not all over yet for Skyfoxes. GRUNTo, they had to make a lot of swaps. They had to invest some ults to recontest there. And now Skyfoxes 70% to the EMP will have grab. They have the ult cycle that's so important. They can just look to use this grab to sort of remove that trance and set up the EMP. They have a lot of options still.
Boostio holding on to the Graviton here. Skyfoxes still close to another EMP. And again, I think for them, you wait for the EMP unless you see an incredibly good opportunistic grab. Boostio keeping the option open. But I don't think the Skyfoxes are going to go too crazy. Nope, they decide to go for it. They see They take him for a ride. They charge him out of the Transcendence. Well timed by Clone Man. And now they're going to drop the EMP a little bit later into the fight. GRUNTo getting rolled over once again. And this time, I don't believe a miracle is going to be happening.
This time, there's no shatter. There's no shatter potential. There's no other ults even at all for GRUNTo. Another good engage for Skyfoxes. They're realizing their win condition so well. They know exactly how they want to play the comp, how they want to remove those ults early and then set up the EMP.
Well, back to the Doomfist, and this time unceremoniously melted into dust.
Now it's just clean up here for Skyfoxes. Unless a miracle happens, it is done for GRUNTo. Just looking for the delay, looking for the contest here. As slowly but surely, they are finished off.
So Skyfoxes looking for a last little bit of finish here. GRUNTo on the other side, just looking for delay. But the Skyfoxes, not only are they going to cap, but they're going to cap with time remaining over a minute. Just one of the better win conditions here on Assault. Though, with how Paris has gone as of late, I wouldn't put a minute 28 as a particularly, or a minute 26 as a particularly great time. Certainly better than any time that's under a minute, but usually we've seen faster.
So now Skyfox is going to be on this defense. And for Skyfoxes, I really like how they've evolved a lot of the use between the Ana Sombra synergy and how well they play that matchup. They've been doing it now for, this is going to be their second season. I think Lastro has evolved this team drastically in terms of how they view the matchups. GRUNTo going to have to sort of examine what they want to do versus this Sombra composition, because they definitely had some trouble there on the defense. Even though they had the Miracle recontest, without that Miracle recontest, we would have seen a much faster cap time. And the reality is that Skyfoxes, they just know how to play the matchup. They know how to synergize for their EMP nade. They know when to be very aggressive with their nano to force those support ults. Use that grab for the ult cycle. And GRUNTo, they might just want to try to play the 3-3 into it, but 3-3, it can be tough to find the value.
I think the most impressive technical play that came out of Skyfoxes in the last engagement, or right before the last engagement, was where they were able to grab and just a really well-timed pin from Cloman as the Transcendence was coming in. So normally go, okay, there's grab, Transcendence is going to save everything. But no, you pin the Reinhardt outside the Transcendence. Rob wasn't able to adjust in time to save. And it just worked out really, really well.
So GRUNTo looking like they want to play a sort of a pretty interesting offense. They're likely just going to be for the scout. They're going to have Umte and Spectral look for the scout and then some swap if they need to. Skyfoxes playing a 2-2-2 defense here with the Who Are You Pharah, the War You or the Hoon Sombra, I should say. And they're going to be looking to just play slow, build towards EMP, build towards Barrage.
I really like the swap coming in from Spectral, where you see who are you on the Pharah. Going Widow here makes a lot of sense. It's going to put a bit of fear into Are You, and also leaves open the possibility just pick him outright.
Spectral going to go a little bit of a, not quite a 2-2-2 with Rob on the Hog, but it gives them that sustain like you talked about, gives them the chance to maybe look for a pick outright. But it's tough for Widow to find the angles. It's very tough for Widow to find the angles here on this defense. Spectral.
Point blank!
He's looking for the point blank shot, but it doesn't matter because Rob, he's there, he gets the hook.
Well, the Farm Mercy combo is down, and Who Are You, frankly, just got way too aggressive there. You're playing defense here in Paris. The rest of your team is on point. You don't need to be that deep. And GRUNTo now just going to bully the remainder of the Skyfoxes. Without Who Are You in play, that's going to be it.
You are absolutely correct. There is no reason to be this aggressive because the choke for Paris First already naturally limits how effective the sniper setup is. You can just play around the edge. Stagger kill still coming out for GRUNTo. For GRUNTo, I don't know if you necessarily swap. You can swap, but I think this is a chance where you try to roll with it, get this value from the amplification matrix early. It's still going to be a tough composition for Skyfoxes to crack, considering they don't have any ults just yet. They are getting close to the EMP, though. But EMP versus Immortality Field, I have to say that Immortality Field, if used correctly, could deny a lot of the value for Skyfoxes.
I think you're 100% right in that GRUNTo should stay on this comp for one go. And there's Rob! Gets the hook! Hoon out of the fight. He was close to building EMP. That's such a big swing for point B. The Amp Matrix is down, and GRUNTo going to try and seize the opportunity here away from the Skyfoxes. Again, Rob, another hook. This man cannot be stopped.
Rob Hog is so good. Right now, he keeps on hitting those hooks, keeps on seeing the synergy. Now the EMP's there. Where's the Immortality Field? It's going to catch Zolik.
He can be stopped.
Zolik, he needed to be split there. He needed to be split from this re-engage. Because if they had Immortality Field, there was still a chance they were going to be in that fight. But with him getting caught, there just wasn't the sustain.
Well, that was an exciting run for Rob, and not one without its rewards. GRUNTo, even as they're going to swap up, they end up with 33% on point B. Hopeful for the next push, so...
They might stay with the variation of this comp, considering the amplification matrix is still going to be available. But I think it would be wiser just to make a full swap. And that's exactly what they're going to be doing. They are going to make that swap here to 3-3, putting Rob onto the Moira.
Remember, if you're just watching right now, 222 was announced. Bookmark this moment. One of the final appearances of GOAT, or as I'm just calling it now, GOAT.
One last ride. Is GRUNTo
One
now.
last ride.
GRUNTo moving towards the point. Be playing very aggressively, building towards this coalescence. Versus the Ana, they can afford to play very fast, try to look for the engage. They don't have to worry about the focus fire from the Discord, and then get that coalescence.
Self-destruct can be sent right down the middle. GRUNTo already picking off one, make it two. And Skyfoxes pushed a bit back. Hoon should have EMP before it's fully capped, but they're almost out of time here. They've already given up a tick. They need bodies on the point here and now, and it's not enough. Busio doesn't get his foot over the line in time. Not that I think that was really winnable with where that had gone, but as a result, a much quicker time being set here by GRUNTo.
Smart swap for GRUNTo. Very smart swap to move into that Moira 3, the Moira GOAT setup there, the Moira 3-3. I like that they see that Lasher's going to be on Ana, Hoon's going to be on Sombra, so let's just take the fight aggressively. We don't have to worry about a lot of damage because there's no Zen on the field, there's no D.Va to really burn our tanks or set up bombs. And they also knew that Hoon didn't have EMP yet, so they can be very aggressive, isolate some tanks, use the bomb to split, which is exactly what they did. They split Who Are You from his team while he was rallying with the bomb and finish him off. So GRUNTo making some very, very good swaps.
Skyfox is going to be on the attack here, and we'll see, speaking of swaps, if there's any changes in their strategy moving forward, where their ideal scenario is something here that can take point A with heavy snowball potential into point B, and I think, truthfully, running a Genji on a setup here, and I don't think they're going to do it, I think they're going to swap off, but if they could make that work, just having a Nano Blade for last immediately after taking point A, I mean, that would be super ideal. But that does not appear to be what they're going to be running with.
No, making a swap here onto a Sombra Goats. Clone Man probably just going to look for the scout and then swap back to a different tank. We have seen some of this setup where you keep the Hammond, but I find it unlikely. He'll probably go back to Ryan or maybe even Winston. I think the Ryan will be great. With Umte on the Winston, this is a chance where you can just go Ryan and just look to enter the point and get the focus fire onto Umte and force him away.
Hoon heading to the back, and the fact that we're seeing teams do this more and more now just also means how much variety there is on Paris at the moment in terms of team comps, where scouting has become a higher priority for teams.
Setting up, gonna get the hack, so now there's no sleep, no nade either for Rob. Forces GRUNTo to turn around, so the rest of Skyfoxes, while that distraction is happening, they're just gonna enter the point.
Ute was in real danger, just barely getting away. Skyfoxes, though, 44 seconds, potentially their last fight. Move on over, trying to win some of the shield war versus Wub. What's the shield going down? Immediately being dropped. Wub, though, finds his counterpart. Man advantage here, the GRUNTo. 6 on 5, and they get to reestablish, heal up, and Skyfoxes, they don't really have time for a full reset with Who Are You being out of the fight. Really fun, salty. Doesn't really amount to much. And Lastro's down. Lastro falls immediately after giving up Nano. Unless Coleman finds one immediately, this might be it.
Gonna drop that Shatter, gonna find several, gonna find a lot. Look at Skyfoxes, can they clean this up? They have no heals. With Lastro not there, their sustain is so low. They're getting cleaned up still in this room.
GRUNTo trying to get back over the point. They force overtime. They're looking for Lucio on the other side, trying to run away. Nice save on the car from Bustio, the shield from downtown. And it forces the EMP drop here from GRUNTo just to try and solidify this point.
This is still possible. This is still very possible. Lastro's back. Karkar's about to have beat. The spawn advantage is in favor. A lot of this is going to be on Wub. He finds one pick, he finds Lastro, but Karkar, he still has beat.
Skyfox is still in it. Boon coming in with an EMP. As Clement buying time to beat, keeping him nice and healthy. Wub, emergency Doomfist back here onto that point. GRUNTo saying, don't want to give up point A at all. Clement out and done. Boon comes at the EMP, but there's no one left to back it up. Skyfoxes denied from point A. And now, did they get a tick there on the point or not? Because if not, then we are now in fully drawable territory, and that's where it is. Drawable.
All games are drawable, especially Paris. And for GRUNTo, that was a great defense for them. They had that early pick, they found the isolation, and even though Skyfoxes look like they potentially were going to be able to get the flip with that great stall for Karkar and the rally, the peel keeping him up, the reality is that as soon as Wub came back and removed Lastro from the fight, they just did not have the healing, did not have the finishing power they needed. So GRUNTo with over 4.5 minutes on the clock here, just get one tick on first. Now, we've seen it before for Paris. We've seen some incredible holds this week. Maybe not on Paris, it was on Volskaya, but some very incredible holds are possible on Assault.
Well, it was Volskaya with essentially the exact same situation, same time bank, and needing a hold on point A, where Fusion Uni was able to do it today before just getting thwomped in the rest of the series and losing the Gen G, but they did have a good Volskaya hold, if nothing else.
So GRUNTo getting ready to roll out here. Skyfoxes on the defense. They're playing a comp that's pretty safe with Hoon on the Sombra and Lastro on the Ana, so they have some flexibility to deal with DPS while still having the brawl capability to deal with a 3-3, because it's likely that GRUNTo just rolls out on a 3-3 because they're so comfortable on that setup for Sombra Goats as they look for the scout, and it looks like they're definitely going to swap the Sombra Goats.
I don't think they have any reason to go away from this. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left. Plenty of time to get an EMP. Likely at least 2, if not 3 EMP attempts on the point. It's all in GRUNTo's favor here. Eventually, you're going to get a fight that they're going to be very favored in. Skyfoxes, though, looking to take the initiative here. Now they at least want to get to that territory. Flowman hacked as they jump on down, and this is looking real bad. Bustio gets the raw end of poke there, and GRUNTo just punishes Skyfoxes because Skyfoxes went for the hyper-aggressive engage. They don't get what they're looking for, and GRUNTo, that's going to be it. They are going to take Paris away and go up 2-0 here at the half.
Skyfox is just hoping to use that nade, that Lastro hit, and get some early aggression, but GRUNTo, they can just save all their cooldowns. They saved all their cooldowns there. They saved Boop, they saved Amp, they saved all the Ana. Like, the reality is, a nade, an early nade in a completely ult-neutral fight, unless you can isolate someone very easily, it's likely not going to save you because all the cooldowns are still available for GRUNTo. And they just completely repelled, completely stopped that engage.
I think Skyfoxes, because of the time pressure there, felt very much in need of just trying to take the initiative, dive in early, hope that it works out, because if it does, then you have an ult advantage, and then you can start playing the ult game a little bit better and hope to get into a spot where, you know, through a little bit of luck and a little bit of really good skill, that you get to the very end. However, they end up overcommitting, they lose the poke war, they lose Bustio early, and it just snowballs against them incredibly quickly. And the end result is that GRUNTo now up 2-0 as we end the half.
GRUNTo looking clean so far this series. It was close on control, not that close on Paris, realistically. You could argue maybe some of that could be attributed to the C9, to the lack of ability to touch point, but the reality is that GRUNTo owned that point pretty heavily already. They had this very strong point control. They had a good engage with a good swap. And I think now we're sort of seeing the underlying weakness of Skyfoxes, where they don't seem to have the same grasp or the same unity, I think, that currently GRUNTo does. They're very much have that disposition towards a triple DPS setup, and playing themselves more in the 3 or the Sombra Goats way is just not their strength, or at least not as strong as GRUNTo feels.
No, not in the least. But guys, that does bring us to the half. We're going to be taking a quick break. When we come back, we'll see if the Skyfoxes can take flight.